Trigger warning, violence, weapons, mentions of blood, minor character deaths, explicit sexual content. Chapter 4. Consume. Find Yako, then find Osamu. Hot water cascades down Atsumu's naked body, droplets pattering on the nape of his neck as he looks down at the ground. The tiles are getting wet. Just a few weeks ago, Atsumu was streaking through Sendai all by himself, picking up every lead to his twin and progressing only in micro steps. Today, with Oiko's help, Atsumu is close to finding him. So close, that he's pretty sure he'll finally see Osamu's dopey face very soon. Oiko leaves no stone unturned, pulls out all the stops, and does everything he can to track Osamu down. The reason for all of this? That's something Atsumu has yet to figure out. Oiko being so selfless and not having any ulterior motives is something Atsumu somehow doubts. But he gratefully accepts everything the 𝒂𝒉𝒈 offers. And even though the mere thought of it causes a terrible sickness within Atsumu, he must admit that 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅𝒊𝒕� is in fact a huge help in his search for his brother. He is precise, his mind is sharp, he is impossibly good at what he's doing, and God does Atsumu hate Oiko for pairing him up with 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅. In the end, though, the goon turns out to be a blessing. Without him, Atsumu wouldn't be where he is right now. Close to finding his brother. Close to finding his twin. You're the only one who's tolerated in 𝒕𝒍𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅𝒊𝒕𝒔. Kyo-chan. Oiko's words were consolidated by Semi's concern and Goshiki's fear of 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅. Even though 𝒕𝒍𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 is not Oiko's territory and the people living in that district are doing everything possible to oppose him, their actions stop as soon as 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 is involved. Atsumu lifts his head and closes his eyes, letting the hot water splash on his face. It is strange. You're lucky to have Oiko watching over you. If Atsumu didn't know better, he would say 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 didn't seem like much more than a pawn. But Atsumu knows better. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 is not afraid to talk back to his 𝒂𝒉𝒈. He is not afraid to defy his orders, and he is not afraid to do things his way. And yet he obeys Oiko, lets him team him up with the guy he loathes so much. Mia Atsumu. Two of the strongest men here in Sendai will work together. Why? I really hope you die today. Atsumu could have died, or at least he could have been badly injured. If 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 hadn't kicked him, the bullet would have hit him, and he would now be the one bleeding out instead of all those he had watched doing so. If 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 hadn't slit the guy's throat at the end of their mission, Atsumu would probably have been the one to drop to the ground, motionless, dead. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 hates it at least as much as Atsumu does having to work together, so why the hell did he interfere? Why didn't he just leave Atsumu to his fate? In the end, it would have been Atsumu's fault. After all, he wasn't paying attention. Atsumu huffs and lathers himself, rubbing his skin clean and easing his muscles with the hot water. He rinses the soap off and frowns, then remains in the shower for a while longer, the water still running. What does Oiko have on 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 to make him obey? 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅. Atsumu groaned. Holy shit, no one warned him 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 was this hot. Of course, he's an eye-catcher. Dressed in his shit expensive suits and then his ridiculously defined body, the goon must cut a fine figure. And his face? Fuck, his face was gorgeous. Beautiful, to say the least. It's no secret how 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅's dark eyes captivate Atsumu. Long dark thick and curved lashes, two moles above his flawless eyebrow kissing his delicate pale skin. Who wouldn't look twice? And shit, those lips. Those sinfully perfect soft lips, always puckered into a slight pout. Atsumu wonders what he'd look like if they were pursed. How he'd look when they wrap around his 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒆𝒅. Atsumu turns the water ice cold. Shit. He curses. The temperature change doesn't really help his growing problem at first. But he lets the water pour over his head, over his body for several minutes until he starts to shake. Goosebumps spread everywhere. His blood no longer has a chance to pool below his belly. Oh my god, yeah, pent up. Atsumu. He scrubs a hand over his face, turns the water off, and steps out of the shower. It's been what? How long since he was last intimate with someone? It must have been some time before Osamu disappeared. Atsumu doesn't have time to fool around. He needs to find his brother. Besides, he's had to be damn careful ever since he left Hyogo. But somehow, though, Atsumu can't stop thinking about the long slender fingers that have been settled around his neck. The light pressure that was given to his airway. The hungry look that lingered on his lips for a split second too long. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 keeps creeping into the back of Atsumu's mind, and it does things to Atsumu, unholy things, that he really doesn't have time for right now. His skin prickles beneath his now changed clothes, but he forbids the shiver from making it up his spine. The only thing he wants from jerks in this town is blood, no matter how attractive they are. Attractive, and decent, and... Atsumu shakes himself. He does want a piece of 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅, but for the same reason he wants pieces of some of the other hot goons, to be able to eliminate them, strike when they are most vulnerable. But if he killed 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 now, he would ruin any chance of finding Osamu again. Oiko would ensure that. So no, Atsumu will have to pull himself together, push his thoughts aside and focus on his actual mission. His brother, Osamu. He shouldn't care about 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅. Nothing about 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅 should matter to him. But that's something his mind disagrees with. So, Atsumu can't hide the fact that he's annoyed. Rattled in a way he can't quite describe. Atsumu can't see Sakusa's knuckles underneath his gloves, but from the way he's clutching the steering wheel, he's sure they must be white. He snorts lightly, seeing the veins on Sakusa's forehead popping out. They must be throbbing to death with boiling blood and abysmal irritation. Ever since Atsumu got into Sakusa's car, he hasn't kept his mouth shut. He has decided his new mission in life is to annoy the Yakuza bastard to the max because talking seems to be much better than keeping quiet right now. Talking means, at least in Atsumu's case, not thinking, and every thought he doesn't waste on some fantasies about the jerk next to him is blessed. Talking means tricking his mind, and Atsumu is willing to take anything to avoid a recurrence of the little situation in his morning shower by any means necessary. So now he's sitting here with the asshole who's about to snap at the next snarky comment Atsumu is going to make. But instead of babbling, Atsumu sighs with theatrical boredom. What now? Sakusa snaps anyway. I'm dying of boredom. Entertain me. Good. Die then. Omiya, we really need to work on your empathy. The right answer would be, oh no Tsumu. What can I do for you? Don't call me that, Sakusa grits out. Atsumu ignores him. Why no, I was thinking. You are capable of that? I could have sworn you didn't possess such a thing as a brain. Sakusa cuts him off and Atsumu laughs. He can't help but be amused by Sakusa's surly manner. Okay, first, rude. And second, Atsumu taps his temple, a mischievous grin creeping onto his face. Never underestimate my mastermind. Mastermind? Sakusa laughs humorlessly. I doubt that highly. Atsumu snorts and smiles smugly. If he didn't belong to Ikoa, Atsumu would have killed Sakusa by now. For the way he treats Atsumu. The way he talks to him. How disrespectful he is to assassins. For being so obscenely handsome and obnoxiously well built, always hiding it beneath his. Atsumu shuts his eyes and swallows, his arrogant smile long gone. His thoughts are once again drifting off in a direction where they had no business to be. So, he decides to go back to what helped him keep them away. When do ya get that stick out of your ass? The moment you start to shut up. Sakusa might lose his temper soon. It's colder these days, so cold that Sendai is practically covered in frozen dew that slowly turns to ice with each passing day. Normally, winter in Miyagi's capital tends to be mild. This time, however, it was anything but that. December is just the beginning of the winter season, but the month has already been much colder than in the last few years before. What's still missing is precipitation, sending little white flakes trickling from the sky. Strong cold winds make working outside quite inconvenient, and Atsumu can't deny that he is glad to be sitting in Sakusa's warm car. Still, Atsumu misses snow as it is back home in Hyogo. He misses the time when he had silly snowball fights with Osamu. He misses the time when everything was still okay. Fuck, he misses Osamu. He starts to spiral. He needs to distract himself. Omi, if you're made of ice, and you're walking on ice, isn't that kinda weird? Please. Please be quiet. I can't even hear myself losing the will to live. Oh. Look who's begging now. Atsumu wriggles his brows. Suits ya, Omi-kun. Could get used to that. Mia. Kayumi sighs so deeply, Atsumu can practically hear every oxygen molecule escaping from his lungs. You are, without a doubt, the most annoying person I've ever crossed paths with. And don't get me even started with the sound of your fucking voice. Atsumu fakes a yawn. Yeah, no. Please keep talking, sugar. I only yawn when I'm super fascinated. Sakusa frowns. You're a dick, Mia. Atsumu hums. You say that like it's a bad thing. He winks. If ignorance is bliss, you must be the happiest person on the planet. You said something? Sorry, I was too busy not giving any fucks. I can't believe I'm stuck with you. Atsumu snorts. Guess that makes two of us. Dash. The rest of the ride wasn't much different. Atsumu continued to chatter until Sakusa turned the music up loud enough to tune out the assassin. It's amusing to see Sakusa getting so irritated. Atsumu feels like these are the only moments he gets any reaction from the usually stoic man. Atsumu stops bugging him when he felt Sakusa might draw his gun any second and pump a bullet through his head. And no, he didn't flinch when the goon abruptly moved his hand to the radio switch just to turn up the volume. Miles away from his pistol, by the way. Honestly, Atsumu is sure Sakusa was about to unholster his gun. So Atsumu just vibes along with the songs that are playing, because after all, the masked bastard still had good taste in music, and it was a good distraction too. That is until Sakusa slows down until the car comes to a stop in front of a secluded bar in the middle of nowhere in Shiratorizawa. Atsumu lifts a brow. What are we doing here? Sakusa wouldn't kill him, would he? He can't. Ikoa told him not to, right? On the other hand, he doesn't give a shit. Oh crap, is he seriously going to kill Atsumu right now? Yako's henchmen, he starts are, in there. If they're dead, he won't have anyone to do the dirty work for him. So, he'll have to show himself sooner or later. You wanna kill him? Sakusa stares at Atsumu indifferently. If they don't give us the information we need, then yes. He takes his eyes off Atsumu and gets out, the cold wind sweeping through his curls. Atsumu's eyes widen. He can't manage to get more than a barely audible what? Past his lips. Now. He asks louder, dumbfounded, as he gets out too, slamming the door shut. What, are you backing out, Mia? Atsumu snorts. You wish. They are unprepared. Another thing Atsumu would never have expected from SakuAtsu. But that makes the whole thing even more thrilling. Fighting means clearing his head, focusing on the things that are happening right here and now. Fighting is good, it keeps Atsumu's thoughts in check. They walk towards the bar, which looks anything but inviting. The shutters are down, only slits let the light from outside shine into the room. There's a closed sign hanging on the door, but SakuAtsu doesn't look like he cares. He opens the button of his jacket while turning to Atsumu, his expression stern. Are you still confident you can handle a fight without a gun? Atsumu frowns but nods. Positive. Good. SakuAtsu unholsters his gun and mutters just before they enter the bar, if you die anyway, I'll kill you myself. Before Atsumu gets a chance to reply, SakuAtsu has already slammed the door to the bar open, causing a loud crack as it bounces off the wall. He bursts in and fires 3 accurate shots at the weapons of the men reaching out to kill them. SakuAtsu was so fast Atsumu didn't even get to realize how many goons they will face in the bar. There are 8, just in case anyone else is interested. Shit, SakuAtsu is seriously no one to mess with. Did I bring us here to fucking die? Atsumu hisses, hand on Osamu's knife, not unsheathing it yet, though. Not having a plan and rushing in like that is never a good idea, to say the least. If anyone knows, it's Atsumu. Obviously, SakuAtsu replies bluntly. Atsumu watches him in horror. Omi, I seriously cannot tell if you're being sarcastic or not. The fuck do you want here? Interrupts one of the men, whom SakuAtsu has just shot the pistol out of his hand. SakuAtsu grimaces in disgust. You work for Yako, right? Tell me where he is, and I might consider leaving you alone. SakuAtsu would kill them either way. Atsumu can see that in his murderous gaze. He could have done it the moment the door swung open. This is just to buy Atsumu some time to check his surroundings. Even Atsumu would probably have been caught a little off guard instead. Looking around, Atsumu realizes why SakuAtsu is making such a disgusted face. The bar is filthy, objects lie broken on the floor, tables and chairs sprawl around chaotically. It's just plain messy, disgusting. Atsumu examines the men in front of them. They are all wearing different collections of armor, none of them looking remotely attractive in it. Atsumu chuckles slightly as he observes the man who first raised his voice. Next to him are 2 guys looking confusingly like Hunter x Hunter's Crollo and Disney's villain Hades, from Hercules. And the guy himself. Well, he was a bad copy of the fucking Joker. What the fuck do you care? He yells and Atsumu sees SakuAtsu roll his eyes. Oh god, he's going to make them all suffer. Atsumu can't help but smirk. Oh, so you know where he is? SakuAtsu tilts his head and slips a hand into the pocket of his slacks. In his other hand, he plays with his pistol, skilled fingers twirling it as if it's weightless. SakuAtsu knows how to handle a gun. In Atsumu's eyes, he is probably the best shooter he has ever met. However, he would never tell him that. Get out of here or it will get ugly. Another bastard slowly approaches the two. Hey. SakuAtsu shouts vigorously. Take another step and I can't be held responsible for my actions. I said, get out. The man takes another step toward SakuAtsu and Atsumu, but SakuAtsu just sighs in annoyance. And I said stay back. He doesn't listen, so SakuAtsu shoots, making everyone in the room except himself and Atsumu flinch. Yako's henchman drops dead to the ground and the game is on. SakuAtsu takes 2 of the remaining 7 and Atsumu arches his brow, watching Joker's eyes dart to Osamu's knife on his belt. Atsumu laughs as a blade flash in Joker's palm. Don't even think about it, bastard. Atsumu dodges the upcoming slash of Joker's shiv, grabs his wrist in the movement, and kicks him in the gut, hard. Joker's knife clatters to the ground, his body drops to the floor and the hiss of his pain is echoing in the room. Atsumu can't help but smirk. This is going to be more fun than it should be. What are y'all waiting for? Joker bellows at his men. Then utter chaos erupts. Several arms reach for Atsumu, almost close enough to tear at his clothes. Darts of shadows spring from his left and right. Everyone tries to reach for a piece of him, like vultures pecking at a carcass. But Atsumu is still very much alive and he's only just getting started. He spins around, thrusting his elbow into Crollo's face. The guy should have polished his reaction time before going into a fight against someone like Atsumu because he didn't see the punch coming in the slightest. With another spin, Atsumu clips Hades' ankles so that the goon is tumbling down, his knees crashing to the ground with a sickening thud. Atsumu peers over at SakuAtsu and huffs as he notices the bastard is killing one man after another with ease. He doesn't even try hard and still looks so shamelessly good. SakuAtsu stands with his back to him so that Atsumu can observe the way his suit hugs his divine body. How it displays his muscles in all the right places, emphasizes his round ass and Atsumu snaps his eyes shut. Focus, Atsumu. Joker is back on his feet, the dropped knife firmly in his grip. Atsumu smiles insolently, running a hand through his hair before unsheathing Osamu's knife. You think you intimidate me? I'll have you on your knees soon enough. Ha. Atsumu snorts. I wish that will never be granted. Atsumu kicks the shiv out of Joker's hand, lands another one to his gut, followed it with a jab to the jaw. Atsumu hears the crackle, teeth rattling. He runs the curved side of Osamu's blade across Joker's throat, making him bleed silently. Joker grabs his neck to stop the flow but slumps to the ground, eyes wide open, staring pleadingly at Atsumu as life slowly drains from him. Placing the tip of Osamu's knife under Joker's chin, he tilts his head up so that his glazed eyes meet Atsumu's fiery ones. Atsumu leans down a little, then speaks cockily. Who's down on his knees for whom now? You for me. A voice erupts from Atsumu's blind side, pistol pointed at him, ready to shoot. Chrollo is back in the game, willing to put the assassin down. He doesn't get to pull the trigger, though, as a bullet hits his head before he has the chance to shoot. Quick and precise from behind, catching him by surprise with a deadly shot that makes his body collapse instantaneously. Atsumu whips his head and for a split second, time stands still. He examines the crease between 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒅𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 compressed into a line beneath that mask. Honestly, he just wants to rip it off and be able to look at him properly. The indent at the upper side and a pointed tip to the lower end. The perfect heart shape for a man who has no business being so perfect. Atsumu has probably never met a man whose lips were so alluring. Watch out. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 shouts with widened eyes and rips him out of his trance. Atsumu flinches as Hades is about to stab him in the hand. He pulls it back just in time but catches a long cut over his palm, causing Atsumu to hiss in pain. Before Hades can tumble any further toward him, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 ends the situation with another accurate headshot. Atsumu gulps, seeing the corpse slump to the ground while blood drips from his hand. What the hell is wrong with you? 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 grumbles as he holsters his gun. He squints his eyes and Atsumu mirrors his fed up expression. I would have killed him eventually, okay. He rips a piece of suit from one of the goons and wraps his hand to stop the bleeding. You were at their fucking mercy. I had everything under control. Under control. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 frowns irritated. You would be dead right now if I hadn't shot them. Well, he is right. And the worst part is that it's not the first time. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 has already saved his ass the last time they went looking for Yako. If he hadn't kicked him into the elevator just in time, Atsumu would be checking out the grass from underneath by now. But this time was different. Atsumu's blood boils. I have already seen you fight, Mia. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 wrinkles his nose. But this one sucked. Fuck you. You can do better than that. I know. Atsumu's mouth snaps shut. For the first time in his life, he doesn't voice his thoughts, doesn't elaborate on what 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 is saying because he knows he is right. Atsumu is one of the best assassins in Hyogo, probably in all of Japan, and yet he fights like a fucking rookie, downright ignoring his most important rule. Mind off. No thoughts, and certainly no doubts, should ever be allowed in a fight. He needs to focus, to concentrate. And Atsumu fucking knows it. Shit, isn't that ridiculous? Entertaining lustful fantasies about some Yakuza bastard he'd like nothing more than to run his knife down his throat. How can that throw him off track like that? Let's go, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 mutters annoyed. This place makes me want to throw up. Atsumu looks around and observes the dead bodies. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 has taken out most of them. In fact, he's killed almost all of them. Shit, what's wrong with Atsumu? Don't you dare bleed into my car. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 warns and Atsumu sighs deeply. Whatever. Dash. Once they are inside the vehicle, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 revs up the engine, and Atsumu stares out the window, bouncing his knee. With his hand pressed against his mouth, he remains silent, his elbow resting casually beneath the window. You're quiet. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 remarks. Atsumu grunts. Missing my voice already, darling? 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 scowls at him, then at the street in front of them. What was wrong with you? I know you suck, but this was a disaster. I thirst over you. I fantasize about crushing you with my thighs. I want your hands all over my body. I want to do you. Atsumu sighs deeply, annoyed. He needs to get laid. Doesn't care by whom, but he needs to fuck it out of his system. I'm pent up, okay. It's been fucking forever since. Atsumu flails his hands around. You know. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 stares at him, deadpanned. You can't be fucking serious. I am. Watch the fucking road. Atsumu doesn't even know why he tells 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 about it. Honestly, he doesn't. Then do something about it. 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 suggests as if it was that simple, ignoring that he almost crashed into someone and pulls the car abruptly to the left. Horns blare behind them, but they both couldn't care less. It's not that easy, okay. Atsumu growls. Being in unknown territory with Yakuza at your back ain't exactly a place to hook up with someone. Anyone here might wanna kill me. Many people want you dead, Mia. Add me to the list. Oh, I'd kill you too. Why no? He truly would. The oh so perfect, obnoxious 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 Kayumi is a goddamn pain in the ass. Then Atsumu mutters. But I can't take the risk to mess with Oikawa. Likewise. And again, Atsumu wonders why. Oikawa has 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 in the palm of his hand and it seems the asshole can't do anything about it. What does Oikawa have on the bastard? That remains a mystery to Atsumu. He could ask him, but 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔 wouldn't tell him anyway. He wouldn't be that stupid. Yeah, sucks to be you, Omi-kun. Which doesn't change the fact that Atsumu needs to get rid of his problem. He cannot risk his life as long as he is still looking for Osamu. Sakusa huffs. I wish I could shoot you already. I'd draw the knife through your throat before you could pull out your gun. You wouldn't stand a chance. Sakusa laughs bitterly, shifts up a gear, and accelerates so that Atsumu is pressed into the seat. I'd have you on your knees before you even got near me. Atsumu laughs genuinely at this comment. Sakusa underestimates him. Excessively. If you're lucky, I'll kill you before you even know it. Shut up, he bites, fingers clenched around the steering wheel. Make me, Atsumu taunts, riling Sakusa even more and regretting it as he mercilessly slams on the brake, bringing the car to an abrupt halt. Furious honking erupts left and right as the surrounding cars pass them by, but Atsumu's widened eyes focused only on Sakusa. Fuck, his heart beat 10 feet higher. I want to choke you, Mia. Until you're on your knees crying and whimpering in front of me. I want to watch blood flow over your body. I want. Atsumu's eyes dart down to watch the way Sakusa's muscles clench and relax at his throat. I want to fucking break you. Sakusa tears his gaze from Atsumu and falls back into the seat. He pulls off a glove and runs that hand through his hair, fingers remaining tangled in his curls. Sakusa curses as he leans back as if he's pissed at himself. And Atsumu would tease him, would say something if it wasn't all so damn hot and tantalizing. Instead, he's left awestruck, letting his fantasies run wild, and is done with his life once and for all, because what Atsumu is about to pull now beats anything he's ever done. Break me, he says, just above a whisper. Sakusa stares at him confused. What? He exhales shakily. Atsumu must have gone insane, right? He overshot the mark. He just babbled something. He couldn't be serious. What the fuck was he thinking? Is he stupid? Break me, Atsumu repeats, then gulps. He is stupid. You can't kill me, but you can break me. And Atsumu scrubs a hand over his face before turning desperately to Sakusa. I need to get this out of my system, okay? I need to. He stops himself before he says something stupid. It's not like he hasn't done that already. I need to get you out of my system. Sakusa scoffs and shakes his head. He averts his gaze from Atsumu and stares out the window beside him. For a moment too long, torturous silence ensues. The air between them is tense, seemingly able to be cut with ease. Sakusa does just that as he starts to mutter somewhat softer, calmer. You're worked up. He considers it. Atsumu's eyes light up with curiosity. I fucking am. You want me to help you out? It's his only goddamn chance. I'd be more focused. Sakusa puts his glove back on and turns to Atsumu. He hooks a finger beneath his mask and slides it under his chin. Shit. Atsumu can feel heat sprouting in his cheeks. His beauty would always drive him insane, if it hasn't already. Why me? Sakusa asks. Watch it, Atsumu. We both can't mess with Oikawa, so you're kinda the only one I'm safe with. And I want your lips around my D. I wanna know what you feel like and shit. I just really wanna do you. Atsumu blushes slightly and adds, it's your only chance to see me fall apart. Your only chance to break me. I can't risk being killed and you can't risk that I'm getting killed. Oikawa still needs me. Sakusa leans his arm on the steering wheel as he faces Atsumu. He examines the boy, his gaze shifting from his eyes to his cheeks to his jaw until it lingers on his lips. Sakusa frowns, then his gaze snaps back up to Atsumu's golden eyes, and all Atsumu wants to do is scream. I'm not going to do you. It's valid. Sakusa has the right to say number. It was a stupid idea, to begin with. Atsumu could only embarrass himself by even asking such a question. So, all he can do is nod defeatedly, head hanging low, and hope that he would never bring it up again. It's a reward, Mia, but you haven't been good. Atsumu's ears perk up. What? He eyes Sakusa in confusion and blinks several times as if it would help him improve his hearing. I won't do you, Sakusa repeats and elaborates. I told you, touch me, and I'll burn. Yeah, gotcha, Omi. But what does that mean? It means you have to keep your hands off me. Atsumu blinks. He must be shitting him. You do what I tell you to do. No fucking way. He can't be serious. And if anyone finds out about this, I will make you bleed until the last drop escapes from your body and force you to stay awake and feel the pain until it tears you to shreds. Shit, he does mean it. Atsumu is left dumbstruck as Sakusa turns away, pulls his mask back up, and sets the vehicle in motion. So, what do you say? Sakusa lifts a brow, and Atsumu has genuinely no fucking clue what to say. Deal? Sakusa peers over at him and Atsumu gulps, nods. Deal. Dash. Okay, so, you know things start to get spicy from here. Please hit the AO3 link in the info box if you want to read the rest of this chapter. I won't put it up here because of the guidelines and all.